Hello, welcome to the Viking Sports Podcast. Today is Wednesday, September 12th. I'm here joined by Joe, as always. But we have a new guest of honor today, Brady Hart.
How's it going,
all-around
fellas?
great guy.
Thank you for having me today.
Friend of the show.
Friend of everyone.
Friend of everyone. If you go to Shawnee Mission West, you know who Brady Hart is.
Good soccer player, even better guy.
Appreciate it.
Number 8 on the field, number 1 in our hearts.
Appreciate all the hype. Don't know if I deserve it, but...
No, you definitely deserve it. Brady is starting left back for the boys varsity soccer team.
Yeah.
And they just came off of a big win against East. Let me ask you a quick question, though. Does it feel better to beat East in a championship game or to be on the pod?
That's a great question. Both have their positives. But coming off a win against East definitely felt good. After losing to them in the opening match 5-1.
Yeah.
Coming to beat them 2-0. Not only a win, but a shutout.
Yeah, that's...
good stuff.
Yeah. So that was one of our first questions for you was, that first game against East, home opener, first game of the season, a lot of hype, a lot of people came out. And the score line was disappointing, but Joe and I both talked, and we talked about on the podcast about the score line definitely did not represent the game that it was. And I know, I figure all of you guys felt the same way. I'm sure Plumov told you guys. Right. Yeah. And what was the initial reaction after the first game against, both the East schools? What were you guys talking about in the locker room?
Yeah, so definitely, the score line's tough to talk about, but coming off playing hard to begin the game, they get a PK, we thought it was questionable. Nonetheless, that's always tough.
Yeah.
But, after the game, we had a lot of things to talk about. One of the things, we had 7 new starters this year, lost 15 seniors.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, we got to keep our heads high.
Yeah.
Go into Olathe East, try and play them strong. Another tough outcome.
Yeah.
But
they're another good team.
Right, another good team in the Sunflower League. And I think it was really good to see the second half against Olathe East. We really started to click, and you could tell that, we're starting to figure things out. And
it may not have shown up on the scoreline, but it definitely, the confidence was starting to build. Go into the mid-season tournament, or into the early season tournament. First opponent was
Olathe South.
Olathe South, 2-1, right?
2-1.
And then second game was
Lee Summit North,
another 2-1. And then going into the game against East, what's the mindset in the locker room, especially after first game was 5-1? What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, so Coach told us Friday. He said, we can beat this team. He said, and this is how we do it. They have 3 midfielders, and they like to go through their defensive mid a lot. And so we had Charlie, who's our attacking mid in this game, kind of sit with their defensive mid and really just try and block all possible outings through him.
Joe, how, ever since the first 2 games, which we were both, or you were at the Olathe East game and the Shawnee Mission East game.
Yes.
How's it been since, it's been fun to have them turn around, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I actually had a question too. What's been the strategy or mindset change from the 2 losses to now 4 wins?
Yeah, so we've always, we're a small team. We're not very big. We're quick.
No target man.
Right. Yeah. We're very fast. You got guys like Hazar, Francie, Michael Judy up top. Yeah. We're fast. So definitely playing feet. Coach Plumhoff really emphasized letting the ball do the work.
Yeah.
We're fast, but if we're running 100 miles an hour, we're gonna get worn out real fast. So really letting the ball do the work. We're good passing to each other. We have good chemistry on and off the field, and so that was a big key for us.
4 wins in a row, 2 goals given up over those 4 games. 2-0 wins against 2 really solid schools in the last 2 games. Olathe West just last night, right?
Yep.
And then Shawnee Mission East, of course.
Yeah.
What's the mindset right now? What's the confidence level at in the locker room right now?
It's very high. The mindset is to keep it going. Keep the roll going. See how far we can go.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to look at the rest of the season and say no more losses, right?
Yeah.
But,
you're gonna have bumps and you're gonna have off games or whatever. Something's gonna happen, but it definitely seems right now that you guys are finding your stride.
Yeah.
And I was at the Olathe West game, and just like the defense was so solid, and that's where it starts for me. Like from what I could tell on the sidelines was like defense is number one right there.
Right.
Like it just seems like nothing seems to be getting past Nick and Eric.
Yeah.
And then you've got the outlets, and wingers seem to be playing well. They're starting to find their shot, starting to find more options coming in. So it's definitely been fun to watch these last couple of games. You guys have been really turning it around, which was it was all deflating for all of us fans after the 5-1. Right. Even after the first two games, it was just like deflating. It was like, oh man, we want them to do well, and I could tell that you guys were close, but we just didn't know how long it was going to take you to click. But when it started clicking, it's like,
got a good team on our hands.
Yeah.
I even saw in the second half the clicking you were talking about against Olathe East. It seemed like it was a lot better result from the first half, and you I guess tied them in the second half.
Yeah, really our goal was at halftime we said, okay, we're down 3-0. What can we take from this? And that's we go out and we win the second half. Yeah. Now we tied 1-1.
Yeah.
But I mean, and Joe was there. It was on their side the majority of the time.
Yeah.
I think once we can start finishing at a higher rate, I mean, we'll be good.
Yeah. And I'd just quickly like to talk about Olathe West as a team. Was 5-0 and also had, you told me about one guy on their team that played for the men's national team, or the youth academy
I think
team.
So, yeah.
And then played for Sporting's academy team.
Yeah, they got a lot of great players.
So some good players, for sure. Definitely not a scrub team. And guys, I would say handled the game pretty well. Was in control of most of the game. They didn't really have that many clear-cut opportunities. Seemed like you guys had the best chances.
Yeah.
It definitely seemed like you guys were the better team, and that's good to see. It's definitely good to see that. I think that's about all we have for soccer.
That's about it.
Next game Saturday.
4 p.m. against Shawnee Mission South.
Where's it at?
At SMAC. The Westridge Fields.
Westridge Fields. All right. You guys want to play on turf or the grass?
That's a good question. We're starting to play pretty well on the grass, but we may have a possibility to play on the turf this Saturday because it's just finishing up.
Yeah, they're just getting the first one done, right?
Yeah.
So that's a real
totally
question.
Two different games.
Because you guys practice on turf.
Yeah, we practice on turf,
which is tough. Like it's tough to transition from practicing 5 days a week on turf. Yeah,
two totally different games played on each.
Yeah, but South looks like a beatable team.
Yeah, I think it should be a win for us. But
should be a win, but gotta
go in with a
strong mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna complete our soccer one. We're gonna move into the other football.
Yes.
American football of the Shawnee Mission West variety. It's deflating.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. Sigh.
Yeah. That's
sigh for all the Nordic nasties. The last time we recorded, the season hadn't started yet, so we'll start with the Northwest game. That one was a killer. Jameer.
Yeah.
I don't want to put Jameer on the spot like that, but our defense held him for most of the game, and it was just our offense, and it was just tough to watch, really.
Yeah, it's tough, but and I know you weren't putting him down, but Jameer also had that 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And we wouldn't even been in the game if it wasn't for some of those catches.
And CJ was throwing some dimes. I mean,
it was unlucky that first game.
Yeah.
The South game, we were outmatched essentially.
Mm-hmm.
That end of first half touchdown, that was a real killer because our defense had held them that entire half, and then 5 seconds left, they get just a last second touchdown. And I feel like if you go into the half tied instead of winning is a lot different.
Right.
Yeah. But how's it felt for? Brady, obviously one of the leaders of the Nordic Nasties. Joe, band member, but still a strong Nordic Nasty at the same time.
Yes.
For sure.
How's it felt for you guys? Haven't won a game since our sophomore year.
It's fun to show up, but I'm going to stick with them no matter what.
Oh yeah, we're loyal fans. We'll be there through thick and thin, but
I'm not one of those people.
Yeah. Nonetheless, gonna still go out to the games, cheer them on. I think we do have a lot of talent. I think we'll win. I'm hoping we'll win a couple games, steal a couple games, but I think
essentially chances to win are now Shawnee Mission North,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm talking reasonable chances to win games we could win, looking at it from, just, on the books. Like, Shawnee Mission North and Olathe West are the two that come out.
Yeah, I think so. Olathe West homecoming game. Yeah. They have some fire in them. A lot of people coming out, I'm sure.
Yeah. And then Shawnee Mission North, apparently not great football school, so always a chance when we beat them. And those are both home games, when they're the two remaining home games, which is good. If we were playing, like, I guess we do play Gardner Edgerton on the road, but the problem is, like, I'm not going to travel out to Gardner in all likelihood on a Friday night. It's going to be tough to, bring yourself, especially if they haven't won a game at that point. But,
and Gardner's a good team too. They're back to their old
Bubba Starling days. Bubba Starling days.
From off of their own 0-9 season to becoming just another powerhouse again.
It's just been a little deflating. I mean, we'll, like we said, we'll always support them. We'll always come out, but just as a fan, it's just been tough to watch. And I'm sure the guys feel the same way.
Yeah.
I'm sure they want to go out and win, and they want to go out and impress the people, and give the fans something to cheer about. It's just been
definitely got a lot of leadership, a lot of senior guys that are trying to lead the team, and I'm looking at it positively. I think there's some wins left in us and a deep playoff run. I think so. We'll see what happens, right? Anything can happen.
Yeah.
So. I know you wanted to talk about Callahan's play calling a little bit.
I wasn't really going to talk more about that, but I was going to talk about just analysis of the game.
Yeah, of the actual game.
Of those two games, what we saw, highs and lows, things to improve on, things that could be...
Yeah, could be good for us.
Could be good. Just reoccurring themes.
Yeah.
The biggest one that I saw was we don't really play past the first quarter. Yeah. And that's maybe not a mental thing, but just maybe a physical thing.
Could be a conditioning thing. Like, they could just, like, not pay. I mean, it is a 48-minute game. With stops, so that's a lot of time. Those games take a while. And they do seem to come out with a lot of energy, but it's just about sustaining that. Can they sustain that for 4 quarters?
And we have a lot of guys that play both ways.
Yeah.
It seems like we have a lot less than in years past, but we still have them.
Yeah. When it comes to offense, our team's only put up 20 points over 2 games.
And they've all been in the first quarter.
All been in the first quarter. It seems like it's just tough to see because, like, our Northwest game against Northwest, we come out and the run game looks strong. Once the run game stops, offense stops. Second game, there was a little bit of a run game, but most of it seemed to come, like most of the bigger plays seemed to come through the air. And then, like, nothing really after that touchdown drive, nothing really even that close. So it just seems like there's not a lot of, like, it just seems tough for them to find any yardage, any ground. I don't know if that's just maybe a lack of talent, maybe inaccurate throwing. I mean, it's a wet game against South, could be wet conditions, but it just seems like they're just having a tough time finding the yards. Defense, on the other hand, though, they played well. I mean, when you hold a team, it was 26-7 at the end of the South game, but for most of that game, for up until halfway through the third quarter, it was 13-6.
Yeah.
And if you take that, defense has played well. Dante's been a beast.
Dante's a very good player.
Yeah.
So, if our defense can keep us in games, it's just about finding some offense to, support them.
I think what defense needs to do, because I feel like a lot of their plays, their yardage, and their scoring came off of more long plays, and we just need to restrict those.
Yeah.
Cut down on those.
On the long plays.
Because we obviously have the stops, and we've shown we can do that.
We
just need to add more.
And it seems like our pass rush has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Multiple people get into the quarterback every time. It doesn't seem like a quarterback has a lot of time. Maybe not as much on the run defense. Run defense has been iffy, but pass rush has been really fantastic. I've been very impressed with that. And if like I said, if you just if the defense can keep us in games, it's just about whether the offense is going to show up.
Yeah.
Past the first quarter.
And you also got to think about another defensive weapon, Sebastian Garcia.
Yeah.
Seabass. Great player. He was a good player last year.
He's a two-way player.
Yeah. So we'll see when he comes back.
When
I think he comes back mid-season.
He said he's coming back week 5.
Week 5, okay.
That's what he told me.
Yeah, Olathe West, I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a good weapon to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like Thomas said about us rushing their QB pretty well, the other side of that is they rush our QB pretty well.
CJ doesn't have a lot of time, and
Yeah.
I know some people have criticized some of CJ's passing ability.
But
I mean, he doesn't have a lot of time in the pocket.
yeah, it's a lot easier to make an effective pass
when you got time and space.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's had to roll out quite a bit. He's had to roll left and right, going against his good hand. So
And then it seems like, I don't know, maybe just small minute thing, but the transfer from right to left hand
yeah.
kind of takes away maybe like half a second.
But football.
Yeah.
Any sport really, it's all about that half second. You got to get that step. Let's see. I'm trying to think. We need to force some more turnovers because when you're a team like West, which is pretty undersized and just not quite as talented or not quite as built as a good powerhouse, you need to come up with those big defensive plays. You need to steal a couple possessions. You need to steal make sure that they don't get one. Just stealing 1 or 2 possessions, that's just another chance for our offense to try and go and score another touchdown. And as our defense has shown, if just give the offense some more possessions, and hopefully they can find some more touchdowns. And I know that Callahan will be talking offense first most of this week.
Yeah.
Speaking of, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, big thing for this week. Olathe North averages 50 points a game, 500 yards. Against our defense, I'm interested to see how that will pan out.
Because,
whether our defense will buckle under that or whether they can contain them somewhat.
It'll definitely be a very tough game. I'll be there. Brady, you'll be there.
Yeah.
I will.
Joe will be there for band. So we'll all be there. We'll all be there to watch the game. It's at South at 7 o'clock. I don't have high expectations for the game.
Yeah.
North is a very good team. They just beat Olathe South. They just handled Olathe South. Mm-hmm. So I think this Friday's game might be more of a learning game. Might be more of essentially a scrimmage. Try and see what else we can build on for other games. But I'm not going to say it's impossible.
Yeah, I think for any athlete, for any team, it's hard to look at teams like for football, Olathe North, Lawrence Free State, who we play.
Yeah.
I mean, they're powerhouses, and it's the same with soccer. You obviously go into it thinking, yeah, we can win, and I think you should. But I think it's always tough to see, what can you get from this game, and what,
Yeah.
That's where these are the games that you can't turn on each other, because if something doesn't go right in any sport,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, go ahead.
Sorry, Thomas.
No, you're good.
I think we need to play with a chip on our shoulder.
Yeah.
I think if you're trying to prove someone wrong, it's a lot more effective.
Yeah.
And even if games like against Northwest and South, which were beatable games, maybe if we came from the mindset that we need to prove something rather than we can beat them, because that was kind of the talk that we could maybe beat them, but we more had something to prove.
Yeah, and another thing with coming into games like this where you're going to come up against a tough opponent, sometimes when you're a team that you haven't won in a couple years, get a little antsy, maybe you try and make a couple too many fancy plays. You just need to go out there and play your game, make sure you make the right play, make the smart play. Don't get antsy, don't try and make it all up. You're not going to get 10 games back in one. You got to just go out and just play each game as it is. And I think they can come out and do that. I think it'll be interesting to see if they improve. And we're not all looking, even if they don't win any games this year, we just want to see improvement, right? And if they improve and they get better, that's just something to be happy about.
And also, especially because we have a few non-seniors in key positions.
Yeah,
so
Wesley, Trayvon, CJ, to name a few, Yeah,
if we can get them to play well and improve.
Gain some confidence, really.
Yeah.
And nonetheless, these games are fun to watch. It's 6A Sunflower League football. This is good football. West, we may not have won a game, but in the gist of things, we're playing 6A football. We're a good football team, you know. You go against some powerhouses,
they're big dudes. Yeah,
it's good football for high school. It really is.
Yeah, and actually that just leads me into another thing that I just thought about was just the size of our O-line.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we have Dante. But
Yeah. Other than that, it's
pretty small.
Which it isn't helpful, but, you know.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're still big guys. It's still fun to watch. So, you know, even though we're struggling, I know I'm looking at every Nordic Nasty right now, all right? It's tough right now, all right? But it will turn around, and you just got to keep the hope alive, keep the faith going, you know, always show out, always support your guys. Because even if you think that not going out to the games will, you know, if they think like, oh, they won't notice it, like if everyone has that mindset, no one will show out. And, you know, I can't imagine how deflating it would be for the guys to look over at the student section at like a home game, even though we know we might not win. Like how deflating it would be to them to see like no one believes in us. Like you just got to go out, always show your support.
Yeah, and there's no questioning that cheering and the student sections don't influence games. They really do.
They do.
Playing sports.
I mean, like, what can you tell us as a varsity athlete when the Nordic Nasty show up to a soccer game?
I mean, geez, we lost 5-1 to East.
Yeah.
I was still hyped.
Yeah.
Because the Nordic Nasties really did show out. They were screaming the whole time, and I think it's great. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, you can't have an influence on the game. Freshmen, be loud. As always.
Just go back.
Yes. Go back a row. Go back a row.
Listen to us when we say
yes. All right.
Just before we transition, I would just like to plug all the sports. Show up to all sports. They like your support.
Exactly.
Yeah, every sport, not just football, not just basketball, baseball.
Yeah.
All the sport.
Baseball.
Brady was just at the volleyball game tonight.
Volleyball's fun to watch. There were actually some people there.
Yeah.
Good little section there. In the corner, but.
Volleyball is fun to watch. I caught part of a game a couple weeks ago, and actually it was quite entertaining.
Yeah. Shameless winter sports plug. Wrestling, swim, of course, bowling, show out.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you there.
Make it a goal of yours to go to every sporting event.
Go to one. Once. Just go to one. There's plenty of meets. There's plenty of everything. Yeah. Just go to at least one, and there will always be at least one home meet.
And support your defending district champions.
Bowling.
So.
Big man right here.
Big man on campus. All right, what do we got next?
Next we have volleyball. If there's much to talk about that.
Well, Brady was at the game. It was an unfortunate result, but
so out of the 5 sets, we lost the first 3, but you know, it was fun to watch. Like I said, I think you know we had some leads during those games. It wasn't a clear-cut winner as much as you can say that after a sweep, but you know, fun to watch. Definitely should go support. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's keep them rolling here.
Next we have tennis.
Big news. Jade out for the rest of the season. Our number 2 tennis player.
Nora Weiss's doubles partner.
Yeah, Nora Weiss's doubles partner, who, as far as I was told, they were probably going to go to state and probably going to do some good stuff there. So, you know, it's unfortunate. Jay's got another year, but, you know, Nora's double partner will be gone next year. So
a lot of seniors on the girls' tennis team.
Yeah.
A lot of seniors.
Also fun to watch. Go support girls' tennis, too.
I think they play tomorrow.
Yeah, they played tonight.
They played yesterday. They had an all-day tournament yesterday. They played today, and they play tomorrow.
Yeah. Matches usually start around 3-ish.
Yeah, around 3-ish. Yeah.
So right after school, if you go to West, you can just walk to it.
Yeah.
You can't. There's nothing to.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's no excuses rides wise.
Yeah. Let's see what cross country, my sport. They ran the St. Louis meet this Saturday, and they were fantastic. We had 3 girls medal, which was top 30 in the race, and then we had, I think, all 5 boys medal. So, you know, and now it seems as though our 5th spot is cleared up because, as I explained in the last podcast, it's a 5-man scoring roster. And now we've got our 4 seniors that are, you know, our automatics, and then Ryan Barnum after the JCCC meet moved into the 5th spot. Baby Barnum, shout out! I love that man. He dropped 47 seconds off of his 5K time.
That's incredible. That's a lot.
That is huge improvement. He was running the first race at JCCC, and I was like, So he had the last 400 to go, which is all downhill. And I saw he was in like 5th place, and I was like, go, Barnum, go. And then I'm running with him to the finish line, and I look at the clock, and I'm like, holy crap, it's 17:57. What the heck? That is so fast. And like, so he, I was very excited. So seems boys will be very good. Girls, the 3 girls that medaled are going to be very good. It's just filling out the rest of that squad, but they will be good. They've got 3 very talented sophomore girls. So that's all I needed to say on cross country.
Golf, not much news there. I'll get some news from Mr. Columbia unless you have some.
I don't have too many. I know they've had a couple tournaments. I think they take 1 girl to varsity, which is
Tiffany.
Yep. So I think doing pretty well. A lot. Definitely going from 3 girls to he has 8 or 10.
Yeah.
Now, which is great. So
And like Joe and I talked about last week, like the great thing about all those girls playing golf is they're playing a lifetime sport. They're playing a sport they will enjoy for the rest of their lives. They're playing just a really solid sport. So that's the good thing to see.
So we're gonna plug that sport too.
Yeah.
Try out for the smaller sports. If you want something to do after school.
Yeah.
The lifetime sports especially. Yeah. Tennis, golf,
bowling, swimming.
Shameless bowling plug again.
But
it's a fun time.
All right. So I say we move into a little break before we move into college and pros.
Yeah. So enjoy this 3-second break.
Yeah. So we're back. We're gonna talk some college football. Joe, K-State, your beloved Wildcats.
It's
They were playing a good team.
Yeah.
They weren't favored.
They were played a good team, and I thought we still improved on some things from the last game. Yeah. But when you play a top 20 team,
it's tough.
Yeah.
They were like 8-point dogs going into the game.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad loss. KU on the other hand.
Yeah.
Back to their winning ways.
Look at that Jayhawk right over there. You can see it.
I don't endorse that.
The 3-point underdogs going into Central Michigan haven't won a road game since 2009. Pull out a 24-point victory. Little factoid I wanted to say. Puka Williams, the standout star from the KU football game, lost all the toes on his right foot from a lawn mowing accident when he was 9 years old. 14 carries, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns, true freshman.
Can I get a picture of his feet? That's the real question.
I think you can Google any foot without toes, and I think it'll essentially.
Yeah, we'll put it in the graphic.
we won't. I promise.
That'll bring views down.
Yeah. So. And then KU going against Rutgers this weekend, Big Ten opponent, and they're 3-point favorites. And I'm very excited.
Wow.
KU's a favorite.
When was the last time KU was a favorite?
I think they were favored against Nicholls State, but they lost.
Oh, they were. They were about 96% chance of winning.
Right, then they lost.
Yeah.
But hey, coming off a win.
Yes. Yeah. It was funny. I saw something on Twitter right after KU had won. Someone immediately tweeted, "Which bowl game are we thinking about?" And I thought that was funny because it's pretty sad how bad we've been losing.
Yeah, gotta get 6 wins first.
How many
Honestly,
times?
Actually, no, it's 5. It's 5 and 7. And since we're an FBS team, if you're 5 and 7, you're essentially bowl eligible at this point.
Yeah.
There's so many now.
Yeah. I think it's still 6 and 6 basically a minimum, but really, if there's not enough team, 5 and 7 is obviously what they're gonna go after next.
Yeah.
I have another game to talk about. Nebraska, Colorado.
Oof. Nebraska off to a rough start.
That last
Frost
play.
is back though.
Yeah.
Frost is back. But
a lot of hype in Nebraska for Frost.
A lot of hype. Shout out Diane Perkins. She's a big Nebraska fan. Frost, I guess you could say they started off the year a little cold. Good one? No?
Yep. I'm a fan.
I respect it.
The fourth down play, Colorado's fourth down play, kind of summed the entire game up for me.
Yeah.
If you didn't see it, Colorado 4th and 25 or something. They throw some pass over the dude's head, but the dude it got intended for got nailed in helmet to helmet.
Oh yeah.
Guy got called for targeting. They got first down. Scored the next play.
Yeah.
And they were also at a field goal range too, and they were down by 1. They scored the next play, and then Nebraska didn't do anything with the ball after that.
I mean, leading with his head, I guess you could call that a mental error.
On fire tonight.
2 in a row.
Big
Oh, those are some frosty puns.
Big tumbles
Right.
with the jokes.
I'm done.
Those are good ones.
Okay. I think that's good enough for college football. I mean, college football is just rough in the state of Kansas a little bit right now. When's basketball season?
Yeah, it's always the question, right?
It's always the question in the Big 12.
I'm still always excited for basketball season.
Yeah.
I'm excited for college sports just in general.
March Madness. One of the best events
K-State
in sports.
making another Elite 8 run. You heard it here first.
You gotta let me see you beat a team other than a 16 seed first. How about that?
We're the first team to do it in the third round, aren't we?
Final Four. That's all I gotta say. All right, that's enough of that. Now we're gonna talk about the Chiefs.
Chefs.
The Chefs. Oh my God. Patrick Mahomes already has my undying love and affection.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is something special.
I was not able to watch the game, but I have heard some very, very good things.
Our
already.
offense is rolling.
If you didn't watch the highlights or didn't watch the game, just Google Chargers Chiefs Week 1 highlights and feast your eyes upon the beauty that is Patrick Mahomes' arm and Tyreek Hill's
Patrick
feet.
Mahomes and Tyreek Hill are going to be a deadly duo.
Yeah. I mean, they're perfect. They're like a match made in heaven, too. Long ball, the best. My dad and I were talking about this. Tyreek Hill is probably the most explosive big player in the NFL. Since last year, he's had 12 touchdowns of over 50 yards.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's an insane amount of touchdowns that are that big. And that compared with right next to Mahomes' cannon. You see some of those throws from Mahomes. That dude's a freak.
He's a very good quarterback, and it's good to see that in
I'm
Kansas
excited.
City.
I'm
very excited to have a quarterback like that. I feel like we've always, had a quarterback that's a practical choice, and Mahomes is going to take some shots. He's going to take some chances.
And perfect along with Andy Reid, West Coast style offense. He's the future in Kansas City, and in 3 or 4 years when this team gets even better and Mahomes gets even better, because you can still see some of the rookie mistakes that he's making, which he'll work out of his system. Yeah. I could see Mahomes being the face of Kansas City sports. For the last couple years, during the Royals run, it was Salvi. Salvi's been the face of Kansas City sports for you could probably say Derek Johnson was there for a little bit. There's always a little bit of a face of Kansas City sports. When the Chiefs become good and Mahomes really develops into a quarterback, he could be the face of NFL sports and quite honestly the NFL.
Yeah.
He's that good in my opinion. From what I've seen, I've bought into every hype train that you can find.
Yeah, and there certainly is a lot of hype.
Yeah. I'd also like to add in there was a lot of hype from last year, and there's usually not a lot of hype for a backup QB in Kansas City.
Yeah. And
he really got it though.
Little piece of history, I was there for the first start of Patrick Mahomes' career in Denver. It was 14 degrees outside on my birthday.
Celsius or Fahrenheit?
It was Fahrenheit, which makes it worse.
Asking the real questions. Or was it Kelvin?
14 Kelvin.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Man.
Who really knows?
Between puns and questions like this.
Oh, man. We're asking the real questions. So this Sunday, Chiefs play the Steelers in Pittsburgh, which, has been really our,
historically.
Just we haven't been able to beat them.
Not our strong suit against the Steelers.
Right. Yeah, we were 5-0 going into the Pittsburgh game last year, and then they beat us, and then we lost I want to say 5 in a row after that.
Yeah, kind of hit a wall.
We hit a wall after that, and then it's just been rough against Pittsburgh. I don't think Le'Veon Bell's playing.
I have two things to add. The Browns tied them week 1, and they're without Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah,
I think the Browns are going to be decent this year.
I think the Browns will win at least 5 games.
Yeah,
at least 5.
But I don't know. Maybe this is the year that we have some good luck against the Steelers.
We're I think 3-point underdogs. No, we're 3-point favorites against Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, which is big. Vegas is giving us the line. The Chiefs were not predicted to win the AFC West, and who was predicted to win the AFC West? Those Los Angeles Chargers, and we just went into their house and beat them. So I think Chiefs right now, looking at another AFC West title, and considering the fact of how well we've done against AFC West opponents in the last, I think 3 years, 17-2 in our last 19 matchups against them, I could see not only the Chiefs being best team in the AFC West, maybe second or third best team in the AFC.
Yeah.
And top 5-10 team in the NFL, in all honesty.
Yeah, got to figure out the playoffs next time.
Yeah. Just got to get over that hump. Yeah, the playoffs.
Yeah. I'd also like to digress a little bit back to the whole Chiefs hitting a wall after the Steelers loss thing. If that happens again this year, is it good that we play them early so we can kind of get that out of the way and then get back on it? Yeah. Or is it going to be a more long-term thing?
Yeah. It's tough. I think this is a big game. You got to be... It's a very exciting game. I'm just checking the schedule here because if we lose to Pittsburgh and we have the second toughest schedule in the NFL. So we played the Steelers. Okay, so Pittsburgh is favored by 4, so I was wrong about that. That's my bad. Pittsburgh was favored by 4, which, to be honest, I would take Kansas City on that line.
I think so too.
So then we played the Niners at home, first home game of the season. Probably should be able to beat them. Yeah. Broncos on the road. So if we lose to the series and we hit a wall, we would probably be able to get one back against the Niners. Broncos are good. Then we come into the gauntlet. Jags at home, Patriots on the road.
Yeah,
those are the 2 games this year that define us.
Yeah, you never want to play the Patriots with Tom Brady.
Yeah, it's tough.
Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady. Brady Hart. So it's a big game against Pittsburgh, but I'm excited. I think they're going to show out, and I think Mahomes this is a good first test for Mahomes on the road in Pittsburgh against essentially our nemesis over the last 3 or 4 years or so. If he can show out and play well in this game, I think that's even more reason to believe the hype.
Right.
Yeah. I would like to ask another NFL question: is Aaron Rodgers the GOAT?
He's not the GOAT because Tom Brady is the GOAT, but
showing GOAT qualities.
I've heard comparisons though.
I think his performance on Sunday night was just incredible. One of the most astounding things I've seen in NFL history. Really, I mean, it's almost up there with that Super Bowl comeback that the GOAT had and Super Bowl 51 against the Falcons.
Oof.
Yeah, 28-3. Oof. But I loved everything about that Bears-Packers game. Rivalry. Loved the Khalil Mack interception after Gruden wouldn't pay him. Plus, now he's out of our division, so we don't have to play him this year, which is great. But yeah, that comeback was incredible.
Yeah. Wish the Packers still had Jordy Nelson, but that's a different thing.
Yeah. Other best teams in the NFL: Rams. They just put it to the Raiders on Monday night. Vikings. Vikings play. Who's the Vikings? They play. I don't think it's the Rams. Hang on one second. But the Vikings play a big game this week against another. It's Vikings-Packers. Vikings-Packers in Green Bay. Green Bay is favored by 1 point in that one, so that'll be another really good game. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see Rodgers' health.
Yeah.
Against that Minnesota defense, which is ridiculous.
But again, you call him the GOAT.
Yeah. I mean, he's right up there. I mean,
he definitely is, I think.
Top 5, easy for me.
Yeah.
I think he's surpassed his predecessor, Brett Favre. In my opinion, I would take Rodgers over Favre at this point.
I'm going to be honest. At times, it seems like Rodgers kind of just washes Favre out of Packers history.
Yeah.
Makes me forget about him.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
All right. I think that's good for NFL. Joe, you're going into your
my
section.
territory. Darts is back. All right.
Darts.
Big news. World number 1, Michael Van Gerwen. Is he back to his inconsistent ways that plagued him in his early years? So we went, as we previewed the World Match Play in our first podcast, don't know if you watched it, I had him winning the entire thing. Loses in the first round. Yeah. Big oof.
It's like when you pick Maryland to win the whole March Madness and then they lose to UMBC.
Wasn't that Virginia?
Oh, Virginia. Whoops.
Yeah. Yep, did that.
Yikes.
Well, I had them in my Final Four.
It was okay.
Yeah, I did too.
Because it got.
I think everyone did. To be
I'm
fair,
sure they
I think
were
everyone except for the county of
one
Maryland.
they were number one team in the tournament.
I think everyone except for the whole state of Maryland.
Exactly.
Honestly, I was okay with it.
Oh yeah, it was great. Because you guys didn't have to play them.
Exactly. Also, bracket gets busted every year, so might as well do it early.
True.
Do it early. Let me
Get the pain out of the way.
Make some history while you're at it.
get the paper shredder.
So yeah, he won the German darts championships. He had a 33-7 leg differential over 4 or 5 matches. He was 25-1 before the final.
Okay, so that sounds pretty dominant, right?
Yes, that's incredibly dominant.
Didn't
And
seem
then-
like there was any competition at all.
I mean, there was competition, like paper wise.
But he just like
he just ran over everyone. I can even. I'll
Yeah.
put a link to the final in the description.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good watch. And then this past weekend in the Dutch Championships, he lost in the second round. He had a first round bye to William O'Connor. Kind of Irish, doesn't get a lot of real TV experience.
Yeah.
Lost to him 6-1 in the first round. And I don't know if he's back to his kind of more inconsistent ways.
A little shaky.
He had a bit of a rough patch in the World Series this year, along with the World Match Play. He made some semifinals and some finals, but for Michael Van Gerwen, semifinals and finals aren't enough.
Yeah.
Wins are what propels him, and he has a £1 million earnings lead over the next person,
Which is a lot.
on the order of merit.
Which is a lot.
Yeah,
What you got? Cricket next, right?
yeah.
Cricket. Yep.
I would just like to talk about one more thing in darts. There's actually 2 codes of darts. So there's the PDC, which is like the professional. That's what guys like Michael Van Gerwen play in. And then there's the BDO, British Darts Organization. That's like historically that was the.
Isn't that the Premier League? Is that the Premier League?
Premier League is all PDC.
All right.
So most everything you'll see is PDC, but the BDO was like traditionally the darts body, and they kind of fell off. Guys went out and started PDC.
Yeah.
And they kind of have some pretty bad blood there. But the new BDO chairman is allowing BDO players to play in the qualifying school for the PDC, which is a pretty big move.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder if BDO is kind of embracing its almost public image of being the amateur organization.
Okay, so it's kind of becoming like a minor leagues type thing.
Yeah, it's almost like I would say almost like Premier League championship.
Okay. Yeah. I understand you. So instead of at first it seemed like they were going away.
Yeah.
Now they're kind of merging together.
Yeah, BDO strictly forbid any PDC players from playing in their tournaments and vice versa.
Yeah.
BDO players weren't allowed to play in PDC tournaments per BDO stuff, except for one tournament of the year, the Grand Slam.
Yeah. So, but now it seems like they're embracing it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's
I think that's a
good thing.
pretty
Good thing.
pretty
for
big
darts.
lead.
Also, can I just say, I'm not a big darts watcher, but when I do watch darts, especially when it's on, ESPN, sometimes it'll show up on ESPN every once in a while, late at night, watch it. It is so entertaining. You would expect darts, this, precision sport where everything has to be, exactly right. You'd expect it to be really quiet in there at the stadium. That thing gets filled to the brim, standing room only. Everyone seems completely hammered, and they just go insane. Someone gets a 180, and it's just
I've seen some highlights, and the crowd goes wild.
I would like to add to my critique of the BDO also. They're pretty anti-noise.
Oh, come on.
There's many videos
That's
of
gotta be
people
what-
trying to start the chants, and they're like,
No.
shut it.
It's like the guy at the Trump rally who was making those faces, and then they took him away, and then they brought in someone else.
I did see that.
That was funny. All right, so then you got cricket, right?
So, biggest thing, it's talking about Rolling Stones lead singer Mick Jagger. He pledges charity donations for standout performances in the England versus India test match that is actually just finished. Let me see.
So what is a test match?
So a test match is essentially
an exhibition game?
No,
or?
a test match is the I'd say probably the most entertaining international event. Those are the 5-day games.
Oh, those are the ones where they're oh wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
do they stop play at some point in the night and then they just
they
resume
have
it?
it's 3 2-hour sessions a day for 5 days.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Unless they don't make it that far.
Is it like the one where everyone has one out and like you just?
Well, I mean that's how it is, but everyone has basically they have one out.
Yeah.
And they bat. Each team has 2 innings.
Yeah.
Rather than just the standard one, and you have no like over limit. So an over is it's 6 balls bowled, pitched.
Yeah.
And so like there's no over limit. It's just
so it just like keeps going.
Yeah, and matches will end in draws. I think this England-India one might have actually done that, but
that's crazy to me. Like 5-day games.
Yeah, it's truly.
That's wild.
It's
think of like the physical. Think about like what if you like one of the guys that plays near the edge of the field, that circular field, and like you just aren't doing anything. Like
I know
it's 2 hours a day, like 3 2-hour sessions. That's 6 hours.
It's a lot of mental toughness.
That's gotta gotta be hard to like not lose focus. Or think about like the bowlers, the pitchers, like they're just over and over.
You gotta be exhausted.
Yeah, batsmen batting for almost 6+ hours. I think. I was just going to look at this real quick. Actually, a big retirement coming out of England, Alistair Cook. Probably one of their all-time players.
I've heard his name, and I don't even really watch cricket, but
he's announcing his retirement from international cricket. I was just to show the longevity of the
bat.
Yeah, of his innings. I believe this one he hit 263 runs, which in itself is
crazy.
Insane, but 836 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, so Mick Jagger's donating to charity.
Yeah, he pledged $20,000 to the Chance to Shine charity each time a player from either side scores a century, which is 100 runs, or claims a 5-wicket or out haul in the final test of the summer at the Oval.
All right.
I was just thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. I think we're kind of running out of time here.
Yeah.
We got about 2 minutes left, but we do have an announcement to make during our little break. We are making the announcement that Brady Hart will no longer be just the guest of honor. He will be with us full time. One of the Viking Sports Podcast members, Brady Hart. Welcome to the
Permanent
team.
man.
Happy to be a part of the team. Really excited. Had a lot of fun today.
It's a great way. I've had a lot of fun with you. Wouldn't you say, Joe? This has been probably the most enjoyable podcast we've had so far.
It's good to hear.
Plus, you were probably tired of me and Joe's voice all the time. So it's good to have a handsome, young, dashing man like him in the studio.
Appreciate it.
AKA
again, all the hype. Don't know if it's well deserved, but
all the hype is deserved. You are worth the hype. You are worth the hype. Let's see.
Final thoughts. Just plugging a few things. Go to smwest.com. That's the journalism website.
Yeah. YouTube.com/smwestepic or smwepic.
Yeah.
Follow me on Twitter at Thomas Guccione. Brady, plug your Twitter.
Brady Hart _3.
Plug anything. Is that all of it? Is that all of your? That's all your socials. Yeah.
You got Brady Hart _3 typically.
Yeah.
Master Blosa for Master _Blosa if you know where to find it.
You know where to find it.
I'd just like to, sorry Thomas, I'd like to plug a new upcoming series that I'm working on. It's called Joe Explains, where I explain these sports that we talk about at the end. To give you a more exciting and I guess fun understanding rather than the videos that you can find on YouTube.
Yes.
So,
yes, I like that. Let's see. If you're watching on YouTube, smash the like button, hit a subscribe button.
Smash that MF like
Comment down below.
Yep.
Follow SM West Journalism on Twitter.
Follow SM West Journalism. Yeah. Go out, support your Vikings, support the games, even if it seems dire. Friday football game, Saturday soccer game, Go out and support.
Try out for sports too.
Yeah, get involved.
They always want you.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of the smaller sports that really want people to try out. So.
Right. For sure.
All right, I think that's about it, guys. So thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
See you next time, and maybe it'll be live next time.
Maybe.
Just watch out.
Just a little sneak peek. Just a little.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
All right. See you guys.